When you look at tonight as a whole, a moment of silence before the game to honor those lost in the attacks, you guys wearing the first responder hats, the President of the United States was here, and you get a Yankees win. Just how do you kind of...
Yeah, it was an awesome night. Meaningful. Captain just spoke about it, just having us out there, kind of all lined up together. First for the moment of silence, then back out there for the anthem, and just that buzz that New York City can create. You definitely felt it tonight. Obviously, the president being here, just an added layer. September baseball against a really good club. A special night to be a part of, and hopefully none of us took it for granted.
Just what did you think of the offense and the way they bounced back as a whole tonight, knowing you're facing an opener, multiple pitchers? How different is that preparation process, and what did you think of the execution?
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge, because you're just going to get different looks all night long. I thought we did a really good job of, the guys of just obviously running out to a lead, a couple long balls there, obviously, but then some really good at-bats to keep adding on. I think, we had some chances to really blow it open even more later on, but, didn't get that back-breaking hit. But, put up 9 after a couple of really tough losses, leaving town, going to play Boston now. That was a good win right there. And Cam, taking it from there and giving us 6 strong innings, Yarb's coming in and finishing it off to kind of reset us a little bit. All in all, a good day.
Peter.
I know you speak a lot about Cam's makeup, but just did he show you anything with the way he bounced back from the rough one tonight?
Yeah, but I expected it, frankly. Meredith asked about, just all the pregame stuff, and I took a peek at him at one point right before we're going out on the mound, and he was, like you can't tell the difference if it's spring training game or, a big game on 9/11 against a great club. So he was locked in, focused, under control. Stuff was really good, filling up the strike zone. They pressured him a couple times. He makes a huge pitch there with the bases loaded to kind of thwart their one real chance to kind of get right back into the game, and to give us 6 strong, was big.
Dave, right behind you, Peter.
Aaron, aside from the DIMaggio part with Judge, even just the stage tonight, he met the president before the game. Yeah. And then 9/11 still means a lot, obviously, to this city, and baseball's part in it. And for him to come up big on that, what did that mean, do you think, just going beyond?
Yeah, it was meaningful, to see your superstar go out there and do that. And I know what it meant to Aaron. I know, and you guys know how, impactful and how important that NY is that he wears in the pinstripes. What it is to represent this city now as one of the faces of the city and as a sports figure now, and it means a lot to him, and it's not lost on him. So for him to go out and have that game on a night like tonight is a little extra special.
Right here up front.
What was the interaction with the president like, and what was it like to see him face-to-face with Aaron Judge?
Yeah, it was great. We had originally thought he was going to be here at 5:45, then 6, and then they're like, he's 20 minutes. So it kind of kept getting later and later, so I started getting nervous. It was getting up around game time. Like, what's this going to look like? It was great. I was there with Carlos and Garrett when he walked into the doors of our clubhouse. It's a little intimidating. You're a little nervous, but he was great. He's great in that setting, real personable. Took some pictures, shook hands, and then we walked him into the main area where the players were, and they got to greet him, and it was a really, really cool interaction, I think, for a lot of people, and glad he was able to be here, and I think it meant a lot to a lot of people. So definitely a cool experience.
Anyone else? Peter.
Just obviously with a big series coming up, just how do you feel going into it, and what's kind of the message going in?
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, excited to get up to Boston. Obviously, they've had our number this year. They've had their way with us this year, but you know, and we know it's going to be a tough series. We're facing 3 good starters this weekend. You know, hopefully we can go out there and set a nice tone early, and understanding, you know, how important each and every game is. You know, tonight's was big. Now we're on to tomorrow. Tomorrow's big. So looking forward to it. I'm sure it's going to be a great environment. You know, you're playing in the fall. It's September. Meaningful games for them, meaningful games for us, playing for a lot, rivalry. You know, looking forward to getting up there, and hopefully we can put together a good series.
Meredith.
Aaron, the bullpen's really been going through it lately. What did it mean to get 3 from Yarborough and kind of give them all a data reset?
Yeah, I mean, those things are huge, you know, especially when you're you know, now we're in the middle of a 13 in a row, or the early stages of 13 in a row. So, you know, every time you can get some guys down there a day of rest and reset, you know, just puts you in a stronger footing, you know, going into the next series. You know, you're facing Boston. They're sitting on an off day. So those things are little things that, you know, can play an important role.